Hi, and welcome back to John's Fun Adventures. Today we're doing things a little bit different. We're not going on a Squishmallow hunt, and we wanted to let you guys know instead that John is going to be the next Gerber baby, hopefully, because we signed him up for a contest, right? That's what it is?
Mm-hmm. To be the next Gerber baby.
A contest to be the next Gerber baby. So I'm going to let Christina tell you guys exactly what this contest is.
It's a picture of him. A picture of one of us as a baby.
Yep.
And a story about our family.
Yep, we picked Christina as a baby because she was way cuter than me.
Well, we had options for my pictures.
Yes.
You should show them options.
Okay, here are the options. So yeah, we had to write a story. We had to submit a whole story, and the story was about our family, and it also said how it relates to like Gerber's foundational values or something like that, but I didn't really know what Gerber's foundational values were, and everything I looked up on the internet didn't exactly tell me anything. So instead, we just wrote a story about John's birth. Or, well, the process leading up to John's birth. God, that sounds terrible.
It does.
Listen. I don't really put these videos out there, but a year before we started making content on YouTube, we started videotaping our lives on a weekly basis. And a lot of it was just the mundane stuff that we were going through as a pregnant couple. We didn't really want to put a lot of this out there, but I'm glad that we got this footage because it relates to the story that we wrote for Gerber, and I'll be able to show some of it in this video. So I'll let Christina tell exactly what we wrote about.
Well, we wrote about the bumps in the road, so to speak, about with me being pregnant with him and then him coming out. You know, I guess the real scary thing we talked about was me getting COVID.
Yeah, Christina got COVID, what was it, 5 months, 6 months into the pregnancy?
I was 21 weeks.
So what is that? I don't do math.
It's 21 weeks.
But how many months is that?
5-ish.
Oh, so, okay, I was right.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, it doesn't matter.
I don't remember that at all.
That was super scary, because that could have had really terrible consequences for John. But we were lucky enough to get, what were they called again?
Monoclonal antibodies.
Monoclonal antibodies, say that.
He did.
I'm in the emergency room to get monoclonal antibodies for COVID. That's what my doctor told me to do yesterday. And I got the monoclonals, and then I had a bit of a reaction where my throat just closed up. And it was really scary, and I felt like I couldn't breathe, felt like I was gonna die. And then it got better on its own, but they're still giving me
As soon as I tested positive, I went to the ER and got those. I did have to get extra ultrasounds.
Yep.
Because he was actually measuring a little bit small after that too.
Yep.
Which is a risk of COVID. So I had to do lots of extra screenings and lots of extra tests, which was nerve-wracking.
And I think it was actually around that point that I was really not talking about it on video for a while because I was so stressed out about the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, fast forward to the next really intense part, and this was during birth.
Yeah. It made it to the 39 weeks, and then I did an elective induction, predominantly to make sure he came out healthy and safe, because at that point we were a little bit worried. At some point, his heart rate decelerated during birth, and that's when you weren't even around.
Yeah, so my parents had come to support us through the birth and to see John when he was first born. And I think we were in the hospital for over 24 hours at this point. And my parents were not at the hospital because they had limited the number of visitors that you could get. So I had stepped away to go have breakfast with them because Christina couldn't eat while she was being induced.
I wouldn't let him eat in the room because I was so hungry.
Well, I was trying to be polite about it. Yes, Christina kicked me out because she wouldn't let me eat in the room, and I don't blame her. Okay, I was trying to make me sound like the bad guy, but sure, okay, all right. She kicked me out.
I was a cranky pregnant lady, imminently giving birth to a pregnant lady.
Yeah, and I think it was while I was headed back to the hospital. Christina had called me and explained what had happened. And there are a lot of people who won't know what that is. So why don't you explain what the heart rate deceleration is?
It just meant that he was getting stressed in utero. His body wasn't tolerating it very well.
And it could have resulted in an emergency C-section.
Yeah, for him. For his safety.
Yeah, for his safety. So that was an incredibly scary moment. And I felt really bad. Really bad is an understatement. I felt like a terrible father because I wasn't in the hospital when this was all happening. So I rushed back. But yeah, it all ended up good. Before I get too far away from this, let me show some of the footage that I got from then. Christina called me as I was heading back and said that John's heart rate had started decelerating really bad. She said that she was asleep and all the hospital staff came in. When they woke her up, they said that we might need to do. So yeah, it's hard to say out loud. She called me and she said that they might need to do an emergency C-section because his heart rate was plummeting. And I was freaking out, so I rushed back. When I got back, everything was fine. His heart rate climbed back up, everything was fine, everything was okay. It was just a mild episode of distress, and it was okay. Welcome to the world, John.
I'm 5 minutes old now. Yes.
So, yeah, we submitted the story. I'm hopeful that, maybe we'll make it into, top 3 or something like that. I don't even think that there's a date that they said that we'll know, right?
There's no date that they gave.
There's no date that they gave. It was due June 10th. It was due June 10th. It's been a few days since then. I think the headshot that we submitted of him was really cute. Oh, I can show that right here. I think the story that we wrote was really compelling. Yeah, I don't know. Just keep your fingers crossed for us that he's like the next Gerber baby. That'd be super awesome. I haven't done a video like this in so long, I don't know how to end this. All of our videos recently have been about buying Squishmallows and stuff, and they're all voiceovers. This feels weird.
I got nothing.
Christina's got nothing.
Why is it up to me?
I don't know, you're the smart one.
You're the YouTube one.
I'm the YouTube one. Am I, though? Alright, thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate it. Bye for now.